Namaskar, dear learners. I welcome you back to this week 6 on the module Cooperatives and Rural Development, and I welcome you to yet another video session on the types of cooperative societies. So, dear learners, after going through this video session, you will be able to identify and differentiate between the various types of cooperative societies based on their purposes, their membership, and their operations. You will be able to analyze the specific features, their advantages, or the challenges of each type of cooperative society that we'll discuss in this video session. Again, you will be able to evaluate which type of cooperative model is most appropriate for the different economic activities and community needs. So, dear learners, let us first now discuss the foundation for understanding how cooperative are categorized and why different types exist to serve different purposes. Cooperatives are not one size fit all organizations. They have evolved into distinct types to address the diverse economic and social needs of different groups that we have discussed in our earlier video session. So, different economic sectors require different organizational approaches. Agriculture production has different requirements than consumer retailer, which differ from the housing or the banking. So, each sector's unique characteristics such as capital intensity, risk profile, market structure, and technical requirements necessitate specialized cooperative forms. So, the type of cooperative depends on what members seek. Farmers need assured markets and fair prices for their produce, requiring marketing or processing cooperatives. Consumers, on the other hand, need access to quality goods for fair prices, requiring consumer cooperatives. Then workers need employment security and fair wages, leading to worker cooperatives. So, this diversity of needs creates diversity in cooperative types. So, different types of cooperative emerged at different times in response to specific historical problems. So, when we talk about credit cooperatives, emerged to address moneylenders' exploitation. Again, when we talk about consumer cooperatives, that has aroused during periods of price inflation and hoarding and the housing cooperatives developed in response to urban housing shortages and so on. So, understanding this evolution helps us to explain why certain types are more prevalent in particular region or sector. And in many countries, including India, have developed specific legal categories also for different cooperative types, each with its own registration requirements, the government norms, and regulatory oversights. So, when we talk about the basis of classification, so cooperatives can be classified using multiple criteria, and understanding this classification system helps in comprehending the cooperative landscape more systematically. So, when we talk about the basis of classification, first would be by nature of membership, second would be by the type of activity or function, third would be by the level in the cooperative structure, fourthly, by geographic scope, then by legal status. So let us now discuss about the credit and banking cooperatives. So these credit and banking cooperatives explores the cooperatives institutions focused on providing financial services from rural credit to urban banking, understanding their role in financial inclusion. So, when we talk about agricultural credit cooperatives, it has emerged as the first and the most widespread type of cooperative in India, addressing the chronic problem of rural indebtedness and farmers' exploitation by the moneylenders. So, these cooperatives provide short-term and medium-term credit to farmers for agricultural operations. Short-term loans up to 15 months, finance seasonal agricultural activities like purchasing seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. And medium term loans, that is from 15 months to 5 years, so finance agricultural investments like purchasing cattle, implements, the minor irrigation equipments. Here the members are typically the farmers from a village or a cluster. Then the societies are organized at the village level as primary agricultural credit societies, PACS that we call, which form the foundation of the three-tier rural credit structure. Membership is open to all the farmers in the operational areas who can contribute the minimum share capital and are credit worthy. And PSCAs at village level are affiliated with the district central cooperative banks that we call DCCBS at district level, which in turn are affiliated with state cooperative banks, CSCBs, at the state level. So this structure enables small village societies to access larger capital pools and professional management at higher tiers while maintaining the grassroots presence. So capital comes from the member shares, member deposits, government share, capital contribution, and borrowings from higher tier cooperative banks. And the Reserve Bank of India provides refinance support through NABARD, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, which acts as the apex refinancing institution for rural credit. So, let us now talk about the urban cooperative banks that we call UCBs that operates primarily in urban and semi-urban areas, providing banking services to middle and the lower middle class populations, small business and self-employed persons. UCBs emerged in the early 20th century to provide banking services to urban traders, small industries and salaried classes who lacked access to organized banking. They fill gaps left by commercial banks in serving local communities and small borrowers. Urban cooperative banks are classified by geographic areas of operation. Single state UCBs operate within one state and are regulated by the respective state registrar of cooperative societies and RBI. And the multi state UCBs operate across state boundaries and are regulated by the central registrar of cooperative societies and RBI. So they are further categorized as tier 1 banks, deposit size below rupees 100 crore, and tier 2 banks, the deposit size is rupees 100 crores and above. So, what service they offer is that they provide comprehensive banking service, including savings and current accounts, fixed deposits, recurring deposits, various types of loans, that is personal, housing, vehicle, or business, and remittance facilities, and increasingly digital banking services like internet banking, mobile banking, ATM services. When we talk about some of the notable examples, then Saraswat Cooperative Bank, then Cosmos Cooperative Bank, and Abhyudaya Cooperative Bank are some of the examples of large, well-managed UCBs that have sustained operations for decades and adopted modern banking practices while maintaining the cooperative character. Then there are the non-agricultural credit cooperatives. These cooperatives serve the credit needs of the non-agricultural sectors, including artisans, weavers, small traders, and other non-farm occupational groups. They provide credit to handloom weavers for purchasing yarn, maintaining looms, and meeting working capital needs. And these cooperative often integrate with the weavers' production and marketing cooperatives to provide comprehensive support. This cooperative enables small businesses to access working capital without depending on informal moneylenders or exhausting personal savings. Now, there are the marketing and the processing cooperatives. First, let's discuss about the agricultural marketing cooperatives. It addresses the fundamental problems faced by small farmers, the weak bargaining power when selling their produce individually to the traders and the middlemen. This cooperative collectively market members' agricultural produce, eliminating or reducing exploitative middlemen, ensuring fair prices and providing better market access. They aggregate the small quantities from individual farmers into marketable lots and reducing transaction costs and improving bargaining power. Let us now discuss some of the types of the marketing activities they do. So some cooperatives simply aggregate and sell produce on behalf of members. Others provide storage facilities to enable members to sell when prices are favorable rather than at the harvest time when price typically fall. And advanced marketing cooperatives provide grading, standardization, packaging, and branding services to improve the market value. Some of the example would be the National Agriculture Cooperative Marketing Federation of India, that we call NAFED, operates at the national level, handling various commodities and supporting procurement operations for government schemes. Then state level organizations like HOPCOMPS in Karnataka and MARKFIT in various states demonstrate the effective agriculture marketing models. Then there are the dairy cooperatives. Dairy cooperatives represents one of the India's most successful cooperative models, integrating collection, processing and marketing of milk and milk products. This we have already discussed in our earlier video. We discussed about the Amul model, the three-tier structure that consists of the village dairy cooperative societies at the grassroots, where farmers bring milk twice daily, district cooperative milk producers unions at the district level, which process milk and manufacture products, and state cooperative milk federations at state level, which market products under unified brands. Then the sugar cooperatives. So sugar cooperatives particularly is prominent in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh, demonstrates the successful farmer-owned industrial enterprises. The sugarcane farmers in a region form a cooperative society, contribute share capital and establish a sugar factory. The factory processes the members' sugarcane into sugar, molasses and byproducts, and members supply sugarcane to their cooperative factory rather than selling to the private mills. And the farmers receive payment in installments and advance when they deliver cane, and the final payments after the season ends and sugar is sold. So this final price depends on sugar recovery rates and market prices, directly linking farmer returns to factory performance. Then there are certain processing cooperatives in the other sectors. The processing cooperatives exist across various agricultural and non-agricultural sectors, adding value to the members' raw materials or products. So first would be the fruit and vegetable processing. Here the cooperatives processes fruits and vegetables into juices, plums, jams, pickle and dried products, reducing post-harvest losses and providing better returns. And Hopcom in Karnataka is a notable example of fruit and vegetable processing cooperative. Then is the oil seed processing. Farmers cooperative operate oil mills to extract oil from oil seeds, providing edible oils and oil cakes used as cattle feed or fertilizers. So this prevents exploitation by the private oil mill owners and ensure better price for farmers. Then cotton ginning and processing. So cotton growers cooperative operate ginning and processing units to process raw cotton into bales ready for textile mills, eliminating middlemen and improving farmer returns. Then again there is spice processing cooperatives, which the cooperatives in spice growing regions processes raw spices, then cleaning, then grading, grinding and packaging are done, and creating branded products with better market value. Then we have to talk about the handicraft and handloom processing cooperatives, where the artisans cooperative provides common facilities for dyeing, printing, finishing and packaging handloom and handicraft products, improving their quality and market appeal. Now, dear learners, let us discuss about the consumer cooperatives. So, these cooperatives actually organized by the consumers to access quality goods at a fair price, understanding their role in protecting consumer interest. First is the principles and the organization of consumer cooperatives. So, the consumer cooperatives reverse the typical producer focused cooperative model, organizing buyers rather than seller to improve their purchasing power and access to goods. Cooperative are owned and controlled by consumers who purchase goods from the cooperatives. Unlike commercial retailers focus on maximizing profit from the customer, consumer cooperatives aim to provide goods at lowest sustainable prices, returning any surplus to the member as patronage, dividends or provide reductions. So anyone can become a member by purchasing a nominal share and agreeing to abide by the cooperative bylaws. And the members receive patronage benefits based on their purchases, creating incentive to buy from their own cooperatives. And the consumer cooperatives operate retail stores, wholesale operations, or they can run both. So they purchase goods in bulk directly from the manufacturer or the wholesale markets, reducing costs through economies of scale and eliminating middlemen. So saving are passed to members through lower prices, better quality, or patronage dividends. When we talk about consumer cooperatives type, there are certain types of consumer cooperatives. First is the urban consumer stores, where it operates retail outlets in cities and towns, providing groceries, household items, and consumer goods. Then we have to talk about the employee consumer cooperatives formed by the employees of large organizations, government departments, or individual establishment. These cooperatives operate stores within or near places, offering convenience and often better price to the employee members. Then the student consumer cooperatives. These are organized in educational institutions to provide books, stationery, and other student needs at reasonable prices. Then there is the wholesale consumer cooperatives. It operates at larger scale, supplying goods to retailer consumer cooperatives, reducing costs through bulk purchasing and eliminating multiple intermediaries. Then yes, some specific product cooperatives. So some consumer cooperatives focus on particular product categories like food grains, vegetables, textile, or books, developing specialized expertise and suppliers relationships. Then there are the producer cooperatives. This cooperatives is a cooperative where the producers themselves own and operate enterprise, from the workers cooperative to artisans collectives. Here we have to talk about the worker cooperatives. So the worker cooperatives represent a distinctive model where employees themselves own and democratically control the enterprise, blurring the traditional distinction between capital and labor. And the structure is that the worker cooperatives follow one worker one vote principle regardless of position or capital contribution. Workers elect the management committee, approve the strategic decision, and participate in governance. So this democratic workplace governance distinguishes worker cooperative from traditional hierarchical organizations. And when we talk about the types of worker cooperatives, this range from small artisans collectives and professional service cooperatives like doctor, lawyers, designers, to a large industrial worker cooperatives. And in India, worker cooperative exists in sectors like spinning mill, handicrafts, construction, and services. Some example are the Mondragon Corporation in Spain's Basque region is the world's most famous work cooperative complex, employing over 80,000 people across manufacturing, retail, finance, and education. And when we talk about India, worker cooperatives are less common but exist in textile mills, particularly in Gujarat and Maharashtra, and artisan sectors. Then there are handloom and handicraft cooperatives. These cooperatives organize traditional weavers and artisans to preserve crafts, improve livelihoods, and access markets. When we talk about the structure and the function, the artisans here are the members, form primary societies at village or town level, often federating into district and state level apex organizations. And the cooperatives provide multiple services like raw material supply at a fair price, credit for working capital, and economic and technical training and design support are given. Common production facilities, quality control, and marketing assistance are given. So when we talk about the types of artisan cooperative, the weavers cooperatives serve handloom weaver producing textile, handicraft cooperatives over diverse crafts like pottery, metalwork, woodwork, etc. Then what is a marketing channel over there? So here the cooperative established retail outlet like Central Cottage Industries Emporium, participate in exhibitions and craft fairs, develop online sales platforms, and increasingly work with e-commerce marketplace. And a brand development and quality certification help command the premium prices. Then we have to talk about the fisheries cooperative. So fisheries cooperative organize fishing communities, providing equipments, credit, marketing support, and collective bargaining power to traditionally marginalized fishermen. Here are some cooperatives. First is the coastal fisheries cooperatives. Here, the marine fishermen form cooperatives for collective purchase of boats, nets and fishing equipments, reducing costs through bulk buying. And cooperatives provide credit for equipments that individual fishermen cannot afford, market fish catches collectively for better prices, and eliminate exploitative merchant moneylenders who traditionally control both credit and fish marketing. Then island fisheries cooperatives in the areas with rivers, lakes, tanks, fishing communities form cooperative for lease or management of fishing rights, sustainable fish stock management, processing and marketing of fish, and the protection against illegal fishing. Then here we have to talk about the processing and value addition. So the advanced fisheries cooperative establish ice plants, cold storage facilities, then fish processing units and retail outlets. This preserves the fish quality, reduces spoilage losses, then enables transportation to distant markets and captures more value for fisher members. Then let us talk about the housing cooperatives. The housing cooperatives enable collective housing development, making home ownership accessible to middle and the lower middle income groups. And the housing cooperatives emerge as a solution to urban housing shortage and high property costs, enabling people to achieve home ownership through collective action. There are certain types of housing cooperatives. Housing cooperatives takes various forms based on membership, purpose, and organizational approach. One is the ownership housing cooperative. This is the most common type in India, where the cooperative develops housing and transfer individual ownership to members after construction. Then rental housing cooperatives, they're less common in India but significant internationally, where the cooperative owns the property and members occupy units as a tenant with secure tenure and democratic control over the management. Then comes the employee housing cooperatives. It is formed by employees of large organizations or government departments to develop housing for members, and these benefit from employer support, easy loan arrangement, and homogeneous membership. Then limited equity housing cooperatives. Here it is restrict resale price of units to maintain affordability for subsequent purchasers, then preventing housing from becoming speculative investment. So this model is uncommon in India's property market context actually. Then senior housing cooperatives, developed specially for elderly persons, incorporating age appropriate designs, then healthcare facilities within it, and community support services are there. Then there are certain specialized and emerging cooperative types. The first is the women cooperatives. The women cooperatives specifically organize women members to address their particular economic needs and social empowerment, going beyond general cooperatives that may have women members. So, what is the rationale for women-only cooperatives? So, despite women's participation in mixed cooperatives, women-specific cooperative emerged because women faced distinct challenges. Limited mobility in some communities, then domestic responsibilities affecting their work schedules, and lesser access to capital and resources, lower literacy, then the technical skills, and subordinate social status affecting the confidence or the participations. So, women on only spaces enables more comfortable participations, leadership development, and addressing women specific needs. So what are the types of women cooperatives? So first is the dairy cooperatives that have been particularly successful in organizing women, with over 70% of dairy cooperative members being women in many states. Then self-help groups cooperatives, that federalize self-help groups into cooperative structures, combining microfinance with large-scale economies activities. Then handicraft and handloom women's cooperatives that organizes women artisans in embroidery, weaving, stitching, and craft productions. Organizations like SEVA, Self-Employed Women Association, have a pioneered in this model. Then service cooperatives, that is run by the women, provide childcare, catering, cleaning, and care services, creating employment with addressing community needs. Then we have to talk about the tribal cooperatives. So the tribal cooperatives organize indigenous communities to protect their livelihood, preserve cultural practices, and prevent exploitations, operating in scheduled areas with significant tribal populations. Then there are large scale multiple purpose tribal cooperatives that in a short we call it LAMs. So LAMs provide integrated service including credit, input supply, marketing of tribal produce, forest like forest products, agricultural produce, handicrafts. So consumer goods distribution and sometimes processing facilities are provided by these cooperatives. And this one step cooperative address multiple needs of tribal communities in remote areas. Then there is the Forest Produce Cooperative. It organizes the tribals for sustainable collection, processing, and marketing of non-timber forest products like tendu leaves, honey, lag, gum, medicinal plants, etc. Then we have to talk about the transport cooperatives also. So transport cooperatives organizes the vehicles owners and drivers to provide transportation services common in buses, taxi, auto rickshaw, and goods transport sectors. Then there is the passenger transport cooperative where the auto rickshaw and taxi cooperatives organize drivers and vehicle owners to operate transport service collectively. Then there is the goods transport cooperative. The truck and the goods vehicle owners form cooperatives for cargo transportations. The cooperative secure transport contracts, allocates loads among members, maintains common facilities, and provides better bargaining power against transport constructions. Then there is this health and insurance cooperatives. It provides actually the healthcare services while insurance cooperatives offer risk pooling mechanism, both addressing gaps in health security. The health service cooperatives establish and operate healthcare facilities like clinics, diagnostic centers, hospitals, then providing affordable quality healthcare to the members and the communities. And the medical professionals sometimes form cooperatives to practice collectively. And the consumer health cooperatives organize patients to collectively purchase healthcare services. Then let us now discuss some of the factors determining appropriate cooperative type. So selecting the right cooperative model depends on analyzing multiple contextual factors. Number one is the nature of the economic activity. The primary activity determines cooperative type. Agriculture production and marketing needs suggest marketing or processing cooperatives. Then retail trade indicates consumer product cooperatives. Then service provisions points to worker cooperatives. Housing needs obviously require housing cooperatives. So the credit needs indicate credit cooperatives. So it depends upon the nature of the economic activity. Then the member characteristics. The member occupation, income level, education, and social characteristics actually influence appropriate models. Then the market structure. Existing market conditions matter significantly. Where middlemen exploit producers, marketing cooperatives addresses this problem. Where the retailers exploit the consumers, consumer cooperatives provide alternatives. So the market structure again is one of the factors determining the appropriate cooperative type. Then the capital availability. Financial capacity of potential member determines viable models. The banking cooperative requires substantial initial capital, limiting feasibility to relatively prosperous communities. Then management capacity. Available management expertise constrain options, and complex operations like banking or industrial processing requires professional management and often needing external hiring sometimes. So simple retail or service cooperatives can function with a member management, accessing realistically available management capacity that prevents over ambitious ventures. Then one of the factor is the market demand. Sustainable cooperatives require adequate market demand. Marketing cooperatives need buyer for produce. Consumer cooperatives need members willing to shop regularly. So it depends on that. Then legal framework is also another factor. State cooperatives laws sometimes, restrict certain activities or provide specific provisions for particular cooperative types. Let us discuss about some of the success factors and the best practices. So examining successful cooperatives across types reveal some common factors enabling the success despite different sectors and the context. One is the clear purpose and needs. A successful cooperative addresses genuine felt needs of the members. Members join voluntarily because the cooperative solves the real problems or provide clear benefits. Then strong member participation. Active member engagement in governance, operations, and monitoring distinguishes successful cooperatives. Then professional management, combining the democratic governance with the professional management expertise enables cooperatives to compete effectively. Then financial discipline, sound financial management with proper accounting, prudent lending or investment practices, adequate reserves, and transparent reporting builds financial sustainability. Then quality and efficiency. Successful cooperatives compete on quality and efficiency rather than depending solely on government support or member loyalty. Then transparent governance. Transparency in operations, management, decision making builds members' trust. So, regular information sharing, accessible records, open meetings, and honest communication differentiate successful cooperatives from corrupt or mismanaged ones. Then, adaptability, willingness to adapt to changing markets, the technologies, and member needs enables long-term sustainability. Then, capable leadership is again one of the factors that honest, committed, and competent leadership is very much required. Both elected representative and professional managers critically influences the outcomes. Again, the appropriate scale, operating at economically viable scale while maintaining manageable governance complexity balances efficiency and democracy. Now let us discuss the policy and the regulatory framework. This actually examines the legal, policy, and regulatory environment governing different cooperative types, understanding how policy shapes cooperative development. So, let us now discuss this. First is the cooperative legislation in India. The legal framework for cooperative in India operates at both central and the state levels, creating a complex regulatory environment. First is the constitutional provisions. The 97 Constitutional Amendment 2011 added Part 9B to the Constitution, specifically, addressing cooperatives. This amendment made the right to form cooperatives a fundamental right under Article 19(1)(c), provided for time-bound elections and audits, limited government interferences, and required states to enact conforming legislations. Then State Cooperative Societies Act. Since corporations was historically a state subject, each state has its own Cooperative Societies Act governing cooperatives operating within that state only. So this act provide for cooperative registration, define governance structures, and specify member rights and responsibilities, and establish regulatory authorities. Then Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act. The Central Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act 2002 governs cooperatives operating in more than one state. The Central Registrar for Cooperative Societies registers and regulates multi-state cooperatives. This act actually provides uniform framework for cooperatives with multi-state operations. Then sector-specific regulations. Different cooperative types face additional state-specific regulations. Banking cooperatives are regulated by the Reserve Bank of India under the Banking Regulation Act in addition to cooperative legislation. Then let us discuss some of the regulatory authorities and their roles. First is the Registrar of Cooperative Societies. Each state has a registrar who is the primary regulatory authority for cooperative registered in that state. The registrar maintains cooperative registers, approves bylaws, conducts inspections and audits, and etc. Then Reserve Bank of India, RBI, actually regulates cooperative banks regarding prudential norms and capital adequacy, asset quality, exposure limits, and banking operations. Then the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, that I have already said. NABARD actually supervises and refinances rural credit cooperatives, including primary agriculture credit societies and district central cooperative banks. Then there is that NCDC, that is National Cooperative Development Corporation, that provides financial assistance to the cooperatives for various purposes, including working capital, project loans, and capital investment. Then there is this state departments of corporations. The state governments maintain, dedicated departments to promote and support cooperative development, implement, cooperative policies, disburse subsidies and assistance, and coordinate between the cooperatives and other government agencies. Then there is this sectoral regulators. Depending on activities, cooperative may face regulations by sector specific authorities, like food safety regulations for processing cooperatives, or pollution control boards for industrial cooperatives, then housing authorities for housing cooperatives, and so on. Then there is this government support schemes also are there. The government provide various forms of support, recognizing the cooperative development role, though quality and effective of the support vary. First is the financial support they give. Then they give the credit facilities. They provide with the capacity building, training programs of the corporate members, elected representatives, and employees aim to improve management capability. Then marketing support they provide. Government procurement preferences favors cooperative products in some sectors, so they provide that. Then tax benefits are there. Cooperatives enjoy certain tax exemptions and concessions under income tax laws. Then infrastructure support also they provide, that government provides or subsidizes land for cooperatives, particularly housing and industrial cooperatives. Then some special legal provisions protect certain cooperatives. Tribal cooperatives have reserved rights in forest produce collections. Dairy cooperatives have preferential treatment in milk marketing regulations. Sugar cooperatives benefits from cane area reservations. So these are some of the government support schemes. So dear learners, this video session actually discusses about the types of cooperative societies, that has explored the remarkable diversity within the cooperative sector, examining how cooperatives organize across different economic activities, membership bases, and purpose, while maintaining some common principles of democratic ownership and mutual benefit. Cooperative exists in numerous types because different economic activities and member needs require different organizational approaches. Credit cooperatives addresses financial services. Marketing cooperatives solve marketing access problems. Consumer cooperatives protect consumers' interest. Housing cooperatives enable home ownership, and so on. So this diversity actually demonstrates the cooperative model versatility. The cooperative sector's diversity is its strength, enabling collective action across virtually all economic activities while maintaining democratic values and social purposes. As India pursues inclusive development, understanding cooperative types and their potential remains essential for building an economy that serves all the citizens rather than concentrating benefits among few. So dear learners, with this we have come to the end of this video session. See you in the next video. Until then, keep learning.